to the TuneUp, your Wednesday night Bible study. Each week we gather together to tune in to the Word of God, learning and growing as we study how to apply God's Word in our everyday lives. Join us at 7:30 for this powerful Bible study experience. And now, let's get ready for TuneUp.
What up, what up, what up, what up? We are back for another TuneUp Podcast, streaming live, courtesy of Global Outreach Church, aka Go Church, where our vision is to build a Jesus community and to serve the world. Every Wednesday, we get together for the sole purpose of reviewing the message from Sunday, talking about real life, everything that has occurred ever since. And this is where we get the opportunity to express what we thought. And express what we feel. So today we are discussing the sermon entitled Best Way Forward by Pastor Lauren. And of course, joining us is wonderful cast of people, individuals. We got Tania. Y'all make some noise for Tania. We got Salvation. Make some noise for Salvation.
Hello.
We got Molina in the building. This is her third time here. And guess who's not here? Let's talk about that.
No, let's not.
Guess who's not here?
Let's not.
See, I tell y'all, when I show up, East Hot goes missing. I wonder why. You know what I'm saying? He was talking trash 2 weeks ago, right? I showed up last week. Then all of a sudden, he disappeared before the end of the podcast. Now we got a full podcast. East Hawk is not in the building. I wonder why. I'm telling you, East Hawk is scared of me. He's scared of me. And he just won't admit it. He owed me money. He's running away. It's all good. It is all good. It is all good.
And so to support my brother Isaac, happy early birthday to Anaya. Her birthday is tomorrow. That's Isaac's daughter.
Happy birthday.
So we're gonna ignore Ledum this evening.
He's scared. He's hiding behind his daughter.
Family,
it's all
taking care
good.
of family, and that's why he's not here this evening. I'm supporting my brother. We're not worried about you.
That man's scared. He stays scared, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Nadia got him. Nadia will protect him. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? But listen. All jokes aside, God bless you, Brother East Hot. Couldn't be here today because, as my wife stated, he is celebrating with his daughter Anaya, and they got some other things that they're taking care of today. It's a really busy day for him, so y'all keep him in his prayer, keep him in your prayers, and his whole family. I mean, this is just—he's had an awesome month. So may God continue to bless him, grow him business-wise, career-wise, in every facet of his life. That is an important, special brother to me. I love him, and so hopefully he'll be here next week. Wednesday, unless he's scared, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. So we do have Molina in the building. And before we get to Molina, because we got some things we need to talk about, wanted to just remind you, if you have not downloaded the Go Church app, please do so. That app is probably one of the most important apps you can ever have in your phone, because there is so much that we talk about that is released through the app, as well as just other things that go on related to Global Outreach Church, aka Go Church. And we want to make sure that you are not left out. Also, as we always do around this time, we encourage you, if you like what's going on, if you like what you see, please like, share, hit that subscribe button. We are trying to grow our subscribers because, again, the higher we get, the bigger the platform, the more people that we are reaching. And I mean, the game changes. We are above 1,000, which was our previous goal. And God has blessed us with 1,000 subscribers. And so we just want the thing to just keep on going. We don't want to stop. And of course, as always, if you feel led by the Spirit to give, we have the QR code at the top of the screen. Feel free to scan that QR code using your phone, and it will take you to where you can actually give towards the ministry, towards this platform, all that good stuff. As the Spirit leads you, of course. We don't do this for the simple fact of trying to make money, but we do want to make sure that we are doing the best that we can to bring you what you would like to see. And it does take. So Real quick, gonna go right to the chat and we're gonna talk to Melina real quick. So in the comment section, Brother Selwyn, where's Pastor IBK? Hopefully he'll come through, but Brother Selwyn has come through. He says,
Good
evening fam
evening.
to you, sir. Big things is happening in Selwyn's life. That guy is so awesome. I love him to pieces. So God bless you, Selwyn, for being first to comment and to watch. And I know there's a lot of other people watching as well. I know, right? He says, I made it. Yes, you made it. There's a lot of other people watching. We look forward to hearing your comments because your comments is what keeps us going. It is
Yep.
not fun unless we see your comments. And so with that, I just want to get to everybody that's here, just to get an idea how you're feeling since Sunday and what you felt about Sunday and all that good stuff. We're going to start with salvation. What's up, ladies?
Excellence. I love the message, of course. I also am a fan of that book, Good to Great. I picked it up again after this after the message and just trying to really, what do I need to do to get to great in everything I'm doing? What is things I'm doing that I'm actually thinking I'm good in now? It's making me look and say, ooh, are you really are you really great at these things you thought you were great at? So what do I need to do to make sure I've probably gotten so used to this position I'm in? So work on that to make it great. And I'm hearing so many so that's another thing I need to work on. Okay, yeah. So but it was a good message. I love the message. I love the practicality of the message. I love that I'm able to see with the examples. Of course, he had to start with my Whitney Houston. So that definitely reminded me of greatness in and of itself. And just it was a good message. But we'll get into the meat and potatoes, as Brad Ishak would say.
Awesome. Tania,
Yes, sir.
talk to me.
So I'm very sad that I was not in church Sunday. I seen that, we had some new stuff going on in church.
Yeah,
So
how do
I'll
you
check
see
it out. I'll check it out this Sunday. But overall, I feel the message was right on time. And I know
Mm,
we'll get into the meat of it.
Yep.
Thank you. Melina,
Um,
what's up?
I thought everything was nice and I liked it. And also, I was surprised when I came to church. So, yeah.
Yep.
So, one thing that is like really cool about Melina is a cook. She knows how to cook. Am I lying? Am I
No.
lying or am I telling the truth? Oh, that's it. She got skills from what I was told. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm thinking probably one of the things we're gonna do, since I am one of the best cooks on the face of this planet, I think we're gonna have like a cook-off. You know what I'm saying? Like my food versus your food, who's gonna come out on top? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. You know, and the
Melinda,
prize
all he's
goes.
gonna do is try and add sugar. And he's gonna think that's gonna win. He's gonna put some children to make them choose, and you know
Hey,
he's gonna win because children don't know what sugar. That sugar is not good. Don't worry, you're good.
so let me tell you something. So me and my wife had a cook
And
off
you
at the house.
lost
She lost.
barbecue sauce.
We
What
had a
made you
cook off
win?
at the house, right? And what we did is we blindfolded our kids, had them do a taste test to say which food, which, and I think it was steak, which steak tasted the best. They picked mine over Salvation,
Ask
and it
him
was
why.
unanimous
Ask
out of
him
the two.
why.
It has sugar
Both
in it.
children
Barbecue
picked
sauce.
mine over Salvation. This is facts.
He
This is so
slathered it with
true.
barbecue
Heaven
sauce.
has this recorded. Heaven has this recorded that on that day it solidified me as the grand champ cook in the house. The
No.
message dealt with excellence. My food was excellent. My kids acknowledged the excellent. Salvation is boo-hooing to this very day. Let me tell you. Let me
Kevin was
tell you.
laughing because they understand comedy. But let's move on.
Hey, listen. Revelation said, Lee Cook where? See, this is what haters always
Exactly.
sound like.
See?
You know what I'm saying? This is like the reason why I say that she's my arch nemesis. She's always against me. Always against me. You know what I'm saying? Just like Joker was always against Batman, just like Lex Luthor was always against Superman, you know, Revelation is always against me. But it's all good because just like the heroes in those films, I will come out on top every time. You know? Thank you. Adekunle, yes. Master Chef Ledum. Let it be heard. Let it be heard. Let it ring from the mountaintops. I am the greatest. I am the greatest.
Just so you know, how did Pastor Larry say on Sunday with the message? When you think you have gotten to great, rename that great good and start over. So I need you to start over and this your quote unquote
You know
greatness.
what? I think we need to have a do-over. I will take on Salvation and I will take on Melina both at the same time. And my food will come out on top again.
Barbecue sauce. Let's go on.
But nah, seriously, my food is better. I'm just playing. But it, you know what? It was fun. It was fun because it wasn't really about who was going to win. Clearly, I was the winner. But it was about the fact that it was a moment for our family to really, how can I say it? Really appreciate just, you know what I'm saying, just a family, good family time. You know what I'm saying? And it was exciting. My game face was on. My wife's game face was on. And we was just doing something that was just fun for us. So, you know, so that's just the highlight of that more than winning. That was the highlight, you know what I'm saying? Salvation is like these jabs, you know what I'm saying? But Revelation says, clock it, salvation. Yep, clock it, take a picture, write it down.
Mm-hmm.
That was the greatest moment in history. I'm just playing. But so definitely, I do want to challenge Melina to a cook-off. We're gonna set it up, you know what I'm saying, and see who will come out on top, you know. One day. Uncle Uwin has chimed in. He says, hello, my people. Great to see you guys again.
Good evening,
Thank you for
sir.
your service. God bless. Uncle Uwin, God bless you. He has really helped out a lot this weekend. So we really appreciate him and his service to the church. I mean, that was he was so cool. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to give him a really big shout out. He is the individual where you can have storms coming. He can see storms coming, and he will be so cool in the midst of the storms. That's just the kind of personality that he has. So God bless you, Uncle. You know, it's just good to see you on here. And again, just to talk about, and Melina and Tania had mentioned it or alluded to it. We did a revamp of the sanctuary, and I'm telling you, if you have not been to Global Outreach Headquarters, 1294 Brazenton Highway, Lawrenceville, Georgia, 30043. Shameless plug. I want you to be there coming Sunday. It is a phenomenal. It looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
It looks phenomenal. So, and you know, of course, we're always gradually making changes. And so when you see progress happening like this, it does get kind of exciting. So I thought that was really cool. Thank you for mentioning it, Salvation, and Tania and Melina. And so Tania, you haven't seen it fully done, but I'm pretty sure you'll get a chance to see it soon enough. You know, it looked amazing. It looked amazing. It was exciting. I think for the most part, people were impressed with what they saw. And so if you haven't physically come to see, come and see. That's all I can say. Now, getting to the message, best way forward. I think I did so much talking. Best way forward. Pastor Lauren started off, you know, using the how can I say, the example of the song "I Will Always Love You," that was written and first
By Dolly
written,
Parton.
produced, and performed by Dolly Parton, and then of course Whitney Houston came after. I think what, two
Upgraded.
decades later,
Yes.
and just took the song to a whole nother level. And so I had asked my people, what I'm saying, to give your opinions. Um, Salvation, I want to hear your opinion. Tania, I want to hear your opinion. Melina, I want to hear your opinion. I know Melina's like, I don't even know what this song is.
I do.
Oh, okay,
Abba.
okay, okay, okay. Hey, I'm just saying, these young people, what I'm saying, who's Dolly? So, wanted to get your opinion on who you thought sung the song the best. Just want to take real quick and go over that. Who you thought sung the song the best? Why? Start with Salvation, then Tania, then Melina.
You're really gonna ask me that question? It's Whitney Houston. Hands down. All day, every day. Past, present, future.
Past, present, future. What? Dolly?
Past, present, future, and even in the eternal. Whitney Houston.
Dolly? Whitney Houston? Okay,
Yes.
okay. Tania.
Okay, so I'm gonna be neutral.
There is
Oh
no
heck
neutral.
no!
You can
Oh
either be hot
no
or
no
cold, or
no
I will
no
spew
no
you
no
out
no
of my
no!
mouth.
There's not going to be
There's
a
no
neutral
neutral.
today.
No lukewarm here.
What
No,
I'm saying.
It depends
I
on your
mean, to
mood.
answer your question, I would say Whitney Houston, of course. But of course, Dolly came up with the lyrics. So,
Mm-hmm.
I still want to give her props.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Whitney Houston.
Okay. 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 Mrs. Neutral. Melina,
Whitney.
did you hear
I
this song?
no,
Yes, you
I know the song because of her. I
Okay.
only heard it through her. I didn't even know there was somebody that made the song.
Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough.
Mhm.
Um, I thought it was a really great way to introduce the message.
yeah.
And it's one of the things I like about sermons is that when they start going into the illustrations to start off the message, you really never know where they're going with this. And so I thought that Pastor Lare did a phenomenal job in highlighting that particular song, comparison, And so here's my opinion. My personal opinion is as much as Whitney Houston did a fabulous, wonderful, wonderful job with the song, I love Dolly Parton's version. Let me tell you the reason why. It's two reasons. One, Dolly Parton's version is what I grew up with. So even listening to Whitney Houston's version, to me, I was still hearing Dolly. And so as much as she did a great job in taking the song to a whole nother level,
Killed
because
it.
clearly she did that, I think that Dolly Parton still reigns supreme as far as and I Will Always Love You is concerned. Just my thoughts. Just my
Even
thoughts.
even Dolly will, even Dolly won't agree with you, but okay.
I mean, when I'm collecting the check, I'll be like Dolly too. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, keep singing
Right.
that song, Whitney. Keep singing that song.
But
But
as Pastor Larry said in the message, excellence is the transformation from good to great. And Whitney Houston took the song by Dolly Parton from good to great. Now, if somebody else can take Whitney Houston's version and make that their good and make it great, then we can have a conversation. But going best way forward in what we're doing in the song, in life, in ministry, in our church, in everything that we are doing, since God is a God that is exceedingly abundantly good and is teaching us, boy, please, you can't even. I'm a Dolly Parton fan, so don't mess that. But there's no way you can listen to those two songs and even equate it to say the only thing that Dolly has on Whitney Houston in this song is the royalties.
Hmm.
Other than that, no. But that's what, like I said, that's what I love. The analogy really gave me why I said I love even what Pastor Larry was saying, and why I even had to pick up my book again, Good to Great, and start reading, because it let me realize that, you know what, you can have an idea and like I said, Dolly Parton made good strands. Even she had, well, she got on the Billboard charts with her song. And like 20 years later, I mean, I know he says 2 decades, and sometimes you can hear the number two and think it's such a small thing. Like literally 20 years later, somebody else takes the song and this song becomes renewed. And like Melena said, she never heard this, she heard it from Whitney Houston. She
Mhm.
probably would never even know who Dolly Parton is. My assumption, and if I'm wrong, you can correct me. If Pastor Liner hadn't mentioned it on Sunday, but that's what we're talking about when we're talking about how do we want to make what is seemingly great to be a good and not make a new great out of it. And that's how, like he said, we even take it into our church and where we are. We had a good sanctuary. Yes, we're sitting down there. We've been worshiping there happily, gloriously, and everything. But in this past week, because we want to make the experience richer and more robust, so people can hear what we're saying, they can hear the word of God, they can see the excellence of who God is, even in our worship experience. That change had to happen last week, and everybody put their hands as much as possible. Either it was giving through the keyword illuminate or coming in to move chairs. I know a lot of people in the media team were there, in the music ministry team. Bradela was driving home tired after Saturday night. Brad Femi, everybody putting their hand in because they were working towards getting us into a place of great. But even now that we have this place of great, even on Sunday, we have people trying to tweak it again because you know what? Now this is our new good. We got to make it even greater because it's not just the room. How we're gonna make our sound better? How we're gonna make sure our youth are more engaged? All those things is really what is going to make us excellent. Because I mean, like, there's so many points that Pastor Larry mentioned in the message, but like our excellence is making us one of our core values, obviously, loving God passionately, doing things kindly, all those things are helping us trying to change the trajectory of where we were to what we need to do, which is great. But I'm
I
gonna let
hear
someone
you.
else.
I hear you, and I agree with most of what you said. The part that I don't agree with, the part that I don't agree with, is using Melina as as an example as to why Whitney is better than Dolly, being that she's Gen
But
Z. We don't
Melina is
trust Gen Z.
speaking.
Go
Let
ahead,
Melina,
Melina.
Melina defend herself.
hey, trust Jesse, trust Jesse. We
There you go.
like when you put I will always love you. It literally puts up Whitney Houston. It doesn't pull up the
First.
other person's name.
Mhm.
I just searched it up just to confirm again.
That's such a Gen Z thing to do. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what she said. Trust the Gen Zs. She give you receipts with her comments. They don't just
It
talk good
it
comments. They
did.
give you receipts with
That's
it.
so
But
Gen Z-ish.
that's why you have to love the generation of now because they're
Mhm.
thinking they don't. If we really pay attention to our youth, and that's everywhere, whether it's in our workplace, in our church place, if we really listen to them, they do come with their receipts. They can show you when we trust them to do what we know that they are able to do. So I appreciate you, Melina, of course.
Thank you.
We appreciate you, Melina. We
Thank you.
appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Tania, you got anything to add?
No, I agree. Um, I do like look at it as far as like if we didn't strive for excellence and to increase, like we would just be stable, like we would just
Hmm.
be at
Stagnant.
one, yeah,
Hmm.
stagnant. So I see the concept of it. I think it is very beneficial. And just like for our youth, like, we praise a certain way, but now they praise a certain way. Their attention span is different than ours, so we have to catch it, we have to reach them. So I think, yeah, the screens might not be everybody's thing, or like why we change or why we spend money on that or whatever, but like I'm pretty sure the youth are like, hey, we got them big screens at our church.
Really,
Yeah.
Melina? That's what
We
you
got
got? Because
lights
I'm like,
flashing and stuff. Y'all need to come see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh. We're like the other big churches now. That's what I was thinking in my head.
oh, really?
Yeah, because mostly like when you watch different churches on YouTube and stuff, they have that type of screen. And I was so surprised that so like when I walked in, I was like, wait, this is new. Like this was like something that I've seen before, but not at my church. That's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, yeah. Revelation says, why am I not surprised, Lee? That's because Revelation also likes Dolly Parton's version as well. You know what I'm saying?
She probably
Um,
don't know who Dolly Parton is.
you know, but she likes Dolly's version. You know what I'm saying? Let her say something differently. But as far as I'm concerned, she likes Dolly. All right.
Okay.
And she also says, Tania, you are exactly right. Okay, okay, okay. I'm exactly right too, Revelation. Arch nemesis. No, I'm just playing. So one of the things that and as we dive deeper, one of the things that really stuck out to me from the message is the quote that Pastor Lauren used, where he said that the phrase, or the common phrase that we always hear, is that if it's not broke, don't fix it. And how he rightly put that. Revelation says, Whitney, baby, whatever. You wanted to say Dolly, you just messed up in your typing. But Pastor Lowry says that it is an enemy of perfection. It's an enemy of excellence.
Yep.
And he's so right about that. If you think about it, if you look at almost every institution that has existed, and we talk about, for instance, Melina is at Georgia State University. I went to Georgia State University, graduated 2003. Melina is there now, it's 2025. At the time that I was at Georgia State, if you was to ask me, do you like Georgia State? I would say yes. Are there some things that I would have wanted to have fixed at Georgia State? I would have said yes. But as far as the institution was concerned, it was a great school. It was a good institution. However, if Georgia State University stayed the same, exactly the same as I left it, or as I remembered it, and Melina was to come to Georgia State and experience Georgia State the exact same way that I experienced Georgia State has done something completely wrong. And that is the failure to improve on what they would have considered to be good in order to make it a great institution. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? For instance, when I went to Georgia State, we didn't have, there were certain kind of, like right now, the living arrangements as far as campus is concerned is now much more closer to campus. Before, you had to hop on a bus that would take you to close to Georgia Tech University in order for you to have residence, or to arrive at your residence as a Georgia State student, right? Georgia State had to have the foresight to say, hey, we need to change this to improve our student experience. And they did just that. I'm pretty sure there's the food court has improved since the last time that I was there. I don't know what's there now. Maybe Melina can speak to it. But there's a lot of things that have improved. The curriculum at Georgia State had to have improved since the last time I was there. They've had better instructors, better textbooks, better buildings. General classroom that I remember was an okay building, and then there was Classroom South in Sparks Hall. I'm pretty sure Melina could look at General Classroom and see that there's differences in General Classroom that wasn't there when I was there. Go ahead.
What's General Classroom?
Oh, you see what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about? Changes that have taken place since the last time I was at Georgia Tech.
So answer her question now. What's
General Classroom, when I was at Georgia State, was the main classroom. You know what the square is, right? The meeting place between Do you still have Sparks Hall?
Yeah.
Okay. So the square is that place where students can gather. You have like the library, you have the square, you have Sparks Hall, you have those buildings.
Green place?
Huh?
The green place?
See, that's probably what they call it now. I don't know. You know, but
I think, is that where like most people hang out?
yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes, yes. So
Southern
and that's so exactly what you experience is radically different
Infinitely
from what I
different.
experienced. Now you don't even know what general classroom is because they probably renamed it to something else.
Yeah, I
All
think that
to
might be Langdale.
yeah,
Yeah.
all to improve the student experience at Georgia State that I didn't experience when I was there. So
Mm-hmm.
that's an example of Georgia State as an institution saying we don't want to just rest on our laurels to assume that we got it made where we are. We want to be better. We
Yeah.
want to improve where we are. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Good stuff. Good stuff. Anybody else?
I mean,
Fun,
go on.
I'm so sorry. Fun fact, they're about to they're like Sparkstall,
Mm-hmm.
they're about to like break it down and do something else with it.
Oh wow.
Always.
So
Oh.
there won't be Sparkstall anymore.
Wow.
I
I
mean,
know Sparks is probably upset.
they'll probably say, well, I mean, but that's the point of excellence. It's something, but Pastor Larry mentioned in the message that you're even though when you are working towards greatness per se, you look at things around you. Like for example, I love Yolanda Adams, the way she sings. I think that girl, that woman is spectacular. I obviously love Whitney Houston, but I never compare. I mean, I love the way Cecilia sing. I love people that are around me that sing. But mm, in your steps to excellence, we never compare ourselves with others. And I'm saying that, linking that to probably what Georgia State is seeing, because we know Georgia State is in downtown Atlanta. Georgia Tech obviously is right there. There's Scott in that area. They are seeking to improve themselves. They may see different things that other people have, but they are focused when they say, you know what, all those things are good, but what can we do to make ourselves better? Not just for our current students, but for the future, because if they're doing it for the future, then people that are actually going to look to come there in 5, 10 years is because of things they're doing now. And that's why I think even at Go Church, we're doing things now because of what we see that 10 years down the line, who we want to see at church and how we want to see the message of the Lord going out there. That is things we are doing now that we are putting in place, foundation setting in place, that we are breaking things down. Like I said, Sparks all has been broken down. There are things that with messages that have been being preached. We're talking about best way forward. Couple of weeks we're talking about God's workmanship. Then we're talking about other messages that we've had to work on our culture change, to understand what are we doing. We are working in excellence because we want to make sure that as we're loving God passionately, as we're doing things in excellence, as we are being kind to each other, that we are totally growing and really do put our best foot forward, or walk the best way forward as we're going into doing everything that God called us to be. Because I know there was a video clip, whatever, that just came out this week. This what's his name, Maverick City's manager, quote unquote, and I was talking to Ledum, and I was like, I don't want to listen to it, but he was pointing out a few things that if you really listen to the gentleman that was speaking, he was coming from a place of, he looked at the industry of gospel music and how it is. And I think it was Tania, you mentioned it, in the fact that the music, even the way we listen to, is different for the generation now and the previous generation. And so how we worship is changing. I do believe that we need to make sure that we are pointing out the fact that how you worship may be changing, but the fact that how God wants to be worshipped has to stay consistent.
system.
Are we
Yeah.
worshiping God? Are we worshiping our feelings? Are we highlighting our feelings? Because a lot of times in this day and age, music is about people's feelings and how people are feeling and how God is making them feel. It's not
Mm-hmm.
really about God anymore. So I think even as we're making all these changes and working on being great and because when we are being great, that's one thing again that Pastor Larry mentioned in the message. It's an advertisement on who God really is. If I'm walking around excellent at my workplace, I'm walking around excellent in my home, I'm not just trying to be a good parent, I'm trying to be a great parent. I'm in relating with women in women's ministry, I'm trying to be a good sister to them or a great sister to them. All those things are actually working advertisements. You are the written epistle that people are seeing, and that's testifying of who God is, and that's really the purpose of it. So in our music, in our everything that we're doing, are we doing that so that God is highlighted and God is who it is, not just, oh, I want to do good music so the people can feel good, because honestly, that's not what praise and worship is about or
Yeah.
for. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
For
true.
for me, the quote, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. Like, I'm very careful with like my wordplay, like what I say, what I speak over my life. But I never noticed that that phrase was really keeping us like in one spot,
Mhm.
because Pastor said, I think he was saying like, once you get to great, rename that like good. And
yeah.
then once you keep it going, so you won't
Mhm.
stop at your great.
Yeah.
So I like how he put that, because I never looked at it like that. But I'm like really careful with things I say. Like, I won't speak things over my life. But literally, if you do say that, you're like, I'm not going to do anything to improve this part of my life. I'm just going to stay here because it's not broken, and I'm not going to move on. So I like
Mhm.
how he pointed that out. I've never thought of it that way or seen it that way.
Now,
Mhm.
that's really good, and I appreciate that you mentioned that, because even Pierre, who spoke up in the chat, he got an issue with Yolanda Adams, I guess, but he spoke up in the
It's
chat and he
okay.
says
We'll pray for you as always, my mom friend.
he says, I like, and shouts out to you, brother Pierre. He says, I like what Pastor Lowry said about renaming your excellent good once you reach it, so that you can intentionally create that room to grow. And that's true. I mean, life is always constantly, is like, part of life is the
It's
constant
not
change.
linear.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's nothing ever stays the same.
Yep.
And so if you don't understand that, if you don't appreciate that, then what ends up happening is that you slowly become irrelevant,
Yeah.
As a ministry, we always want to be relevant to the people that we serve, to the community that we serve,
Mhm.
which means that it's not necessarily saying, oh, we need to change the gospel. The gospel is excellent. It's how we
Yes.
present the gospel.
Mhm.
It's not simply just saying that we need to stop evangelizing and doing discipleship because this has been taking place for over 2,000 years. It's no, how do we evangelize?
And it's
How
more
do we
relevant.
disciple? Those
Mhm.
things, how we do that needs to change,
Yep.
because where we are isn't like where things were 2,000 years ago,
At
100
all.
years ago, 50
Yep.
years ago,
Yep.
5 days ago. Things are constantly changing. And so
I'm
we
improving.
always have to think about the fact that, because change is constant, what was great yesterday is not good enough today.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? What was excellent yesterday is not excellent today.
Yep.
And I mean, there's plenty of examples that we can go to. If Michael Jordan stayed the same, as good as he was when he got introduced to the NBA, if he stayed
Mhm.
the same, then he wouldn't be an excellent basketball player. He
Yep.
became excellent because he constantly improved upon what he brought when he came to the NBA. You know,
Yep.
there was a funny thing, right? Me, Pierre, I think brother Mimo, I think brother Faith, no Kunle, Kunle. We were all having this discussion about quarterbacks and great quarterbacks, and what makes one quarterback more outstanding. It makes, like a quarterback like Tom Brady outstanding, or a quarterback like Jalen Hurts outstanding. And one
Mm.
of the things that came up is that they made the players around them better. In other words,
Mm.
not only were they seeking to be great and seeking to be excellent, the players around them had to step up and be great and be excellent, meaning that they had to constantly come to practice, meaning that they couldn't just settle on the fact that, hey, we're in the NFL, we don't need to do anything else. And so good stuff. And Pierre says, so since the salvation, please rename your Yolanda Adams Good and move to Maverick City.
First of all, neither of them. I'm renaming that. But you know what, Pierre, because this is your first day actually commenting on the chat, I will not harass you like I really want to. I will let you have your fun moments. But next week, when you make a comment, I'm gonna have some good comebacks. My comebacks right now, they're staying in my head. Like I don't want to mention some names. Like some people will be doing quick comments, comebacks.
Mm.
Yeah, only
So
here. Yeah, I'm saving them for you for next week. Come back next week, Pierre. Come back next week.
so I have a question.
Go ahead.
It's kind of two-part, but I kind of forgot the second part. But so okay, I remember now. So is it a point, or would it come to a point where we would, like, for us always wanting to reach excellence, that we're not grateful for where we are now? And
Mm.
then the second part of it would be like, well, we'll answer that one first. So
We're not
like,
grateful.
so would it be like that we're not grateful since we're always trying to achieve excellence?
No. Well, for me, no, it doesn't mean you're not grateful, but it does mean that you are always, there's something that Pastor Larry said, you are always looking for the potential to be better because you are
Mhm.
not staying stagnant. God, I think God is always growing us and teaching us things. So when you are willing and open-minded to say, okay, what do I need to learn today? What do I need to do today? That leads to growth. So I personally don't think that it doesn't mean you're not grateful. Actually, just means that you are receptive and you're open to what God wants to do with, in, and through you.
Mm.
Melina?
Oh,
Mhm.
so like I think it only becomes like it only makes you ungrateful when you compare with other people. Like
Yes.
if you're just trying to work on yourself without like being jealous of others or like always comparing your success with other people,
Mm-hmm.
then it's not being like ungrateful. But
Mm-hmm.
in a sense of you doing that, that's when you become ungrateful, because God always wants us to be the best of ourselves, and he doesn't want us to just be stuck at one place.
Yes, ma'am.
Because if you're stuck at one place, it's kind of like if you have a talent and you're not using it, like you're just there, you just have it in you, but God gave you that to like use it to
Yes.
Yeah.
maybe like help people. And if you're not doing that, that's a you thing. But like if you have a talent and you compare your talent with other people while still
Mm-hmm.
using it, that's you being ungrateful, because God gives each and everyone a talent or something in them for a purpose. So
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
not like we're not supposed to be comparing, because that makes us jealous, ungrateful, and that leads to sin, and it brings a whole lot of things to us. But
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
The
what I think.
story
Right.
of the story of you just did the story of the 5, 3, and 1 talent. The
Yeah.
person with 1 talent is like, well, no, I'm just gonna bury it, and the person with
Yeah.
5 went and multiplied it, not because really that one was enough for that one person, but they didn't do anything with it because they were comparing themselves or not really comparing somebody. They were like, well, you are just worried about what they shouldn't have been worried about.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
So
okay, so the second part of the question is, can you can you reach for excellence in something that's like not yours? So like, say if it's not in the making for you to be a millionaire, but you're like really really trying to reach it. Like, does that make sense?
Why would it not be in the making for you
I
to be a
mean, not
millionaire?
okay, so maybe the millionaire is not a good example, but like, say you're supposed to be a teacher and that's not your, that's not your calling. You don't have the skill set for it,
mm,
but you're trying to reach to be an excellent teacher, but you're not even a teacher yet. So can you reach for something in excellence that's not like your calling and not for you?
I think you can.
But
Um, I think the problem will be that in your attempts of reaching something that is not designed for you, you're
You're gonna be
never going to
stressed
find
out.
Get that.
fulfillment in doing something that is not specifically you. Though you
Mm-hmm.
may
But you
see
can reach
change,
it. Yeah.
yeah, you can
Yeah.
reach it. I mean, you can make changes. You can come in as somebody who doesn't want to be a teacher at all and have to be in a situation where you have to teach and say that, oh, I see some things that need to be improved here, but you'll never be fully satisfied because it's not something that it is not something that is innate to who you are or what you ultimately want to be. And it's probably the reason why there's people who are really great and really excellent in the work that they do and the different jobs or whatever that they have, but they're never fully satisfied with, they're always thinking about, yeah, I want to leave this thing,
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I think that would be my answer to your question. What you call it? A revelation said, "Okay, Melina, Uncle Lee owes you $2, $2 bill. Hashtag bars. Okay, okay. Y'all want to trust the Gen Zs in this bill? All right, keep going. Okay. And Uncle Owen says that excellent entails showing up every time with your best shot to move things in situations from good to great. Then rename the great as good and so on. You're absolutely
Yep.
right. Matter of fact, well, and this is in Salvation mentioned this. It was a statement in which excellence is the desire to explore the potential and possibilities that exist in anything for the purpose of making it better. Invariably it is showing up with the best might, intending to make a condition better.
Yep.
Pastor Laurie also said this. It does not mean competition with others. It
No.
is ensuring you are better than who or what you were before.
Yep.
That's a really good thing to point out. There's
Mm-hmm.
some really, really wonderful churches in Atlanta, churches that are thriving, that are making strides, that are having a huge impact on the communities that they're in. I mean, I can name two churches and everybody knows who I'm talking about. And they're doing an excellent job, right? However, if we're trying to be like those other churches, you know, in other words, we're trying to compete with those other churches. Oh, because this church is doing this, we need to do that. We're not being excellent. We're not
So the
pursuing
sort of be.
excellence.
Yeah.
Us pursuing excellence is saying that, okay, looking at the system that we have in place now, it's okay, it is good, but we can do better. We
Yes.
can do more.
Yes.
That's pursuing excellence, right?
Yes.
It's not about trying to be like everybody else. It's trying to be better than you were the day
Mm-hmm.
before.
Yeah.
As someone who has preached some years now, I think that there's some really great messages that I preach. However, if I have not learned anything or if I have not improved since the last time that I preached a message, then I'm not pursuing excellence. If I'm preaching, if my next message to preach sounds similar or my style or my approach sounds similar to what I did before, I'm not pursuing excellence. So I'm constantly trying to think of how can I preach this message better than I did before with the last message. What can I implement that was different, that speaks to people where they are and have people with the desire to hear the sermons differently. Am I asking people, hey, what did you think about the sermon? What were some things that I could have done better? What were some things that I failed at? One of my biggest critics is Mama Megan. Mama Megan I sit there and be like, I think I did a good job, and Mama Megan be like, yeah, you could have did better. Say like, I didn't like this, or you was too technical. And I used to be like upset, like, man, saying like, yo, do you know what I did? Do you know to get this sermon? But I had to also listen to what she was saying. Why? Because she's the person that I'm expecting to grow from what I'm putting out there. And if I'm not doing something to communicate better to Mama Megan, to Tania, to Melina, to Salvation, to Ishak, to Pastor Lauren, if I'm not doing better to communicate, then I'm failing at being at preaching. I'm failing. Matter of fact, the gospel's not going forward. people are not going to want to hear me speak again. So I got to make sure that I'm listening to those critiques, because that's the only way that I'm going to get better. Salvation mentioned I'll be, and I'll pass it on. The manager for Maverick City, Norman, one of the things that he said in his interview is that he hates yes people. He hates yes men, people that are around him who are just only going to big up the stuff that he's saying, who are
Yep.
only going to back up what he's thinking. He hates those kind of people. He
There you go.
loves people that challenge him.
Why?
He loves people that will criticize him left and right. He says he loves the ideas that come from people who are critical, because he's like, that's the only way I'm going to get better. That's the only way I'm going to get better. If you're just being a yes man, you're wasting my time. I don't need you. You know,
Mhm.
So I thought that was one of the things that really came out. And again, it's always weird that when you hear a sermon, you get confronted with things that actually back up the sermon that you heard. And I thought it was just really great when he talked about how he hates yes men. He only likes listening to people that criticize him. He relishes in that. So I thought that was pretty good and pretty unique. Melina, what are your thoughts?
I was gonna make an example of like a friendship, like best friends. If I'm your best friend and you're my best friend, and like you do something wrong, and I don't tell you, or like I don't try to like let you know that what you did was bad,
Mm-hmm.
you would think that what you're doing is right, and you just keep going on with it. And
Yep.
that like when eventually I tell you, oh, what you did was bad, but I haven't told you so in like a year or something, now you will be thinking, oh, why is she telling me this now? Like she's being a bad friend. But if
Mhm.
I were to like tell you, like at the moment, like maybe not exactly when it happened because there were people around, but like in private, if I was like, okay, so I know that you hurt or something, but what you did wasn't the right way to go about it. Like you should go about
Mhm.
it this way. Like is like we're humans, of course, so like we get hurt and stuff, but that doesn't mean that you get to do this to other people. That
Mhm.
will make you think about your actions and most likely change about it. If you don't think about your actions, that means I have to like get away from you, because I'm not trying to like tell you, oh, you're a bad person. I'm just trying to let you know that what you
That
did
was
was
not
bad.
working.
And if I do something bad and you don't tell me, and I keep thinking that, oh, what I'm doing is right, but what I'm doing is actually wrong, then we're both not helping each other, or
Mhm.
like I'm not helping you and you're not helping me. So pretty much it's like the people around us also contributes to everything that like Pastor Larry was like talking about. Because if you're trying to succeed or like be a better version of yourself, but the
Mm-hmm.
people around you makes you think that you're okay where you are, and they're not trying to like go
Then you're
up,
not gonna improve.
then you're not improving,
Yep.
because
Yep.
you think like the people around you in a way, like you're your own person, but sometimes you look up to your mom or your dad or your friend or the
Mhm.
people you go to school with. Like I look up to my cousin because where she is now, I want to be like that, but not like
Mhm.
in comparison of like, oh my gosh, I have to be like that. If I
Mhm.
can, and I know I can redeem myself, and I have to put in the work too, I see her as a role model, like somebody I can look up to. Like I
Yeah.
look up to my dad too, because when he was in school, he was really good, and I want to like be like that, not to be like, oh my gosh, my dad was so good. Why am I so bad? Like sometimes I think like that with my mom because she was really good at math, but I'm not. But but then also I know that's my mom and me. Like we're both different. So I just have to like maybe practice more or do something more. I may
Mhm.
not get to the same level as her, but I can try my best to do
Grow from where you
better
at.
in like what I'm doing. So
Mhm.
if we only think that, oh, we're fine and oh, everything is okay, like that's not gonna help us. Like
Yeah.
it's like doctors, like I know doctors, they don't stay at one place. They're always trying to keep going because
Yeah.
there's always new diseases, new sickness. So if you're just staying at one place, how are you going to be able to battle this disease? How are you going
Yep.
to be like the coronavirus when it came? if all doctors were just scared of it and they just sat there and they didn't do nothing,
Mhm.
most like people died, but it would be
Mm.
way more than the people that died.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if
Yeah.
we just sit, like, get out of your comfort zone sometimes. Like, it's hard, but just do it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
pretty
mean,
good.
definitely,
Pretty good.
you just go on, Tani. We're supposed to
No,
say.
oh, no, I was just gonna say for me, like I feel like you can't get to excellence by competing or being in competition with people because
At
it
all.
takes away from you being your genuine self, like you were
Yep.
Yeah.
saying, Melina.
Mhm.
Like like for the church instance, if we try to be like those churches, we're like just copying them. We're
Yeah.
not genuinely trying to bring people into the church. We're not genuinely like praising God. We're just like trying to be like that
Like,
church,
mhm.
but we're not doing like the process. We're not doing the actions to get to that place, but we're
Mm.
just thinking about how can we be like them instead of saying, "Oh, I like how they have the screens. Let's put the screens here, but we're going to keep our, the way we run our house, keeping our core values and run our house our way, but we might add a TV screen, a picture here, a new door here and there." But I really feel like competing, you can't be your genuine self and you're copying something that you don't know what they've been through to get there. You don't
Mm.
know how they got there because you're just copying like the outside, the image of it.
I like that. I like that. I love that. Good job. Good guy.
Yep.
I really love it. Good job, guys. Um, Pastor Lowry said this. He says that there is no better advertisement than excellence.
Yep.
Um, I think that, because I want this discussion to kind of end tonight with us internalizing what we're going to do going forward in our, saying in our personal lives, in the life of the ministry. How are we going to internalize this attitude of excellence? So for instance, seeing things in service when we come to church on Sunday, when we walk into the buildings, we see, the things that we do and saying, okay, I like this, but this thing needs to be better, and being the driver behind that change. I think a lot of times what
Mhm.
tends to happen is that we see things that need to be done, but we push
Somebody
it on
else to do it.
somebody else to do it. You know what I'm saying? Or
Mhm.
we envision somebody else actually doing it, and it's like, there's frustration in that. If I want to see excellence, if I want to see my the ministry overall become excellent, I can't wait for somebody else to do it. I got to be the driver behind that. I got to be the change agent.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, definitely. Like I said, if I want to see the way it needs to be, I have to. Um, if I want to see the youth be a particular way, I have to be giving towards the youth ministry. I have to. If I'm not giving personally, in just in my time on talking to the youth, even if it's not even in their classes, when you see them in the friendship avenue or wherever, you're talking to them like the youth now, they know me from the stage. I'm always looking at them like, you better be singing back there, because they know I'm gonna get them. Like, they run after praise and worship because they know I'm gonna ask them, why did I see you not really engaging in worship? Because I'm like, I know you guys have energy, that you're the youth, you have the energy. So all those things, if I'm seeing, like, for example, I know Ledum and a lot of the men were in at church because they realized we need to move this, we need to do that. They saw a need and they didn't sit at home, even though there was, I mean, Ledum, for example, had took did things, moved a lot of things around just to be there because he said there's a need, which I had talked about Lom last week, where there was a need because of part of our team having some health issues. And hey, even if I'm just gonna go make work for 30 minutes, for 15 minutes, it's better than nothing. So we all have to, I think the way we can, like I said, put that idea in our mind, that point Pastor Larry made, that I'm the advertisement of excellence that people are going to see. And when they see that excellence, they seeing the God in me. There's something that Pastor Larry said in the message, that people are not going to necessarily even remember what you did. they'll remember it because of how you did it, basically because of the way you communicated. And Melina alluded to that in her conversation. But really, there's no better advertisement on than excellence and about who our God is. The way we can tell people about this God that we're serving is the fact that we're doing it in excellence. When we're worshiping all out in excellence. When we're preaching the word of God, when we're reading our Bible, when we're talking to the children or whatever it is, we're doing it full blast, saying, I'm doing this to make sure that God is glorified.
Amen. 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 Any last comments, Tania, Melina?
Pastor said excellence, and you just mentioned it too, Brother Leadham. Excellence keeps you in the driver's seat of change.
Yep.
And I would say, like, for me to help move in excellence, for me, I don't make a lot of excuses, but I was talking to Sister Lynette the other day, and just hearing you guys talk, and I'm like, oh, I made some excuses of why, something that I see that might need a change or something I can get involved in. And I gave her an excuse, like, not, she didn't say it, but just listening to you guys, I think for me, what I can do for excellence is, not making an excuse for something that I want to, bring to the church.
Awesome. Melina, any final thoughts?
I had something to say, but it skipped me. Wait. It was about what anti-salvation said, but I can't remember what I was about to add on to it.
Okay. No problem. I just want to say this in closing. This one was a really, really, really great discussion, and I think it kind of hit home for us because we are always thinking about, how can we be better in what we do. When we think about the TuneUp Podcast, how can we be better? When we think about, how we relate to people wherever they are, how can we be better? And thinking about the fact that it's not about simply wanting change to happen, but being the change agent, being the person that drives the change. Because again, as it was stated, excellence keeps you in the driver's seat of change. So if you want excellence, you have to be in that driver's seat. You have to. If you're not in the driver's seat, you're not really desiring excellence. If you're waiting for somebody else to do it, you're not really desiring excellence. Uncle Owen says excellence is exceedingly abundantly above our current good. You're absolutely right, sir.
Yeah.
That's our desire, and that's our goal, to push past where we are to be better. Because again, what's at stake? The presentation of the gospel. On that note, I just want to thank you guys so much, ladies, so much for being a part of this discussion. It was really good, and there's so much, and we're going to be talking about this ongoing because this is part of a series. So I look forward to seeing you on Sunday, which is Communion Sunday. This is a time for us to come together to celebrate the presence of the Lord in our midst with one another. So please do not miss Communion Sunday. If you can physically be there, please be there. I also look forward to seeing you on the TuneUp next Wednesday. Salvation, you got something? Sorry.
Remember, Ignite is on Saturday. So if you know any high schoolers, Ignite at Church 1294 Brazelton Highway. Be there at 8:30, 9:30. I'm sorry about if I had the time wrong.
9:30.
9:30 for those high schoolers. I know Linda has and college students are going, and Linda is really is working hard to make sure we're working from that good to great. We want them to be in the great place so that they can actually exceed and do good in the call that God has for them.
Amen.
So please, and then if you're a professional, 1:30, you're encouraged to be there to come speak and encourage our people. Yes, Melina.
So do we have to be there like 9:30, or is it starting exactly at 9:30?
It starts exactly at 9:30.
Okay.
Yes.
So we have to get there at 9:30.
Yes.
I would say yes.
Okay.
You don't want to miss anything. Be there 9:30. God bless you all.
And you can reach out to Sister Linda if you want more clarifications though.
Yeah, because
I know
I
you
told
get
my friends there'll be breakfast, and I don't know exactly what time that will
yeah.
be,
Yeah.
because I know some of them will come for that too.
Okay. Just reach out to Linda and
That's
she'll give you
why.
that information. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
God bless you. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening. And
Yes,
thank you
everyone.
so much.
Be safe. Good night.
You've been watching the TuneUp. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this Bible study. And until next week, don't forget to check in and get your tune-up.